Large language models are incredibly powerful, but they have this one massive blind spot. They have no idea what's going on inside your company. They don't know about your internal policies, your project updates, or any of your specific customer data.
So how do we fix that? Well, that's where Retrieval-Augmented Generation, or RAG, comes into the picture. It's the process that bridges that exact gap. It enhances the AI by letting it pull information directly from your trusted company knowledge. And in this explainer, we're going to break down exactly how Copilot Studio uses RAG to give you answers that are accurate, secure, and totally grounded in your own enterprise data.
So here's how we're going to break it all down. We'll start with a high-level look at the whole four-step pipeline. Then we're going to dive into each stage, rewriting and retrieving the content, generating the actual answer with citations, and finally, that all-important safety validation at the end.
All right, first up, let's get that bird's eye view of the entire RAG orchestration process inside Copilot Studio.
Okay, so every single time you ask a question, the system follows this exact four-step process, no exceptions. It starts by rewriting your query to understand it better. Then, it retrieves the content. After that, it generates a summarized response. And finally, it validates the whole thing for safety and governance. This is what guarantees that every answer is relevant, accurate, and secure. Okay, let's get into the nitty-gritty. These first two steps are all about one thing: figuring out what you're really asking, and then going out and finding the perfect piece of data from your company's files to answer it. You see, the process doesn't just start with a simple search. Nope, it begins with this really sophisticated component called the Query Optimization Engine.
The best way to think about this engine is to imagine it's an expert librarian. You could walk up and ask something kind of vague like, hey, I need that report from last quarter. But a great librarian, using context and their knowledge of the library, knows exactly which report you mean and where to find it. Well, this engine does the same thing for all your digital content.
And this is where the magic really happens. It doesn't just take your words at face value. It clarifies any ambiguous language, and get this, it adds context by looking at the last 10 turns of your conversation. It then generates multiple really search-friendly queries from that one single question you asked. This whole process just dramatically improves the quality of what the system finds.
So once those supercharged queries are ready, the system goes hunting. It searches all your connected knowledge sources and pulls back the top 3 results from each one. Now, let's look at how this plays out for 2 of the most common sources you're going to use, SharePoint and files you upload directly.
Now, this is absolutely crucial, especially for enterprise scenarios. Look at the security model. For uploaded files, access is pretty simple. It's at the agent level. But with SharePoint, Copilot Studio uses a feature called security trimming. This is a game changer. It means the system automatically filters the search results so users only see the files they already have permission to see in SharePoint. It's a built-in governance feature that totally respects your existing security rules.
Okay, that security trimming is powerful for general use. But what if you have even more complex security needs? What if the agent has to find content that is specific to the individual user who's asking the question? For those advanced cases, you have to make sure the agent can act on behalf of that specific user.
And here is exactly how you pull that off. You go into the authentication settings and choose Authenticate Manually. You configure it with Microsoft Entra ID, and then, this is the key, you include what are called delegated permissions for Microsoft Graph. This is what gives the agent access to the user's personal security token, allowing it to find content that only that person is allowed to see. It's an incredibly powerful and secure way to handle sensitive info. Hey, if you've ever tried setting this up or just have questions about it, definitely drop them in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you.
Okay, let's move on to the next stage. So, the system has retrieved the right raw information. Now what? How does the AI actually turn all that raw data into a coherent, trustworthy, and citable answer?
Well, this is not a simple copy and paste job. Not at all. The AI takes all those little snippets of content it found and synthesizes them, weaving them together. But it does this while following your specific custom instructions. You can tell it what tone to use, how to format it, even tell it to be brief. Then it generates citations that link right back to the source documents and even personalizes the response based on the user's language or region. And the end result looks something just like this. It's a clean, helpful answer, but it's also completely transparent. The user sees exactly where the information came from, and they can click that little citation to go verify it for themselves in the original document. This is how you build incredible trust in the system.
But we are not done yet. Before that answer ever reaches the user, it has to pass one final, crucial checkpoint. This stage is all about safety, security, and making sure everything is compliant with your enterprise rules.
Think of this as the system's final set of guardrails. First, it runs a moderation check for any harmful or non-compliant content. Second, and this is so important, it performs a grounding validation. This basically double-checks that the response is based strictly on the information it found, which is what prevents the AI from making things up, what we call hallucinating. And finally, the big one for privacy, a guarantee that your prompts and your company's data are never ever used to train the foundational models.
So when you put it all together, this entire four-step pipeline, from rewriting your question to that final safety check, is designed to make sure every single answer is accurate, relevant, cited, and secure. Once you understand this process, you can build and govern your AI agents with total confidence, knowing exactly how your enterprise data is being handled every step of the way.
So what does this all really mean for you, whether you're a builder or an IT pro? The key takeaway is this. The power of RAG is that it grounds a powerful generalist AI in your organization's specific reality. It literally transforms a generic model into a specialized expert that actually knows your business.
Hey, if you found this explainer helpful, please do us a favor and hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into enterprise AI technology. Thank you so much for watching,